The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. This is Money Radio. And if you're just joining us this morning, stick around. We'll make sure you know the big business stories of the day. And to help you travel to your destination, we have local weather and national weather. Add to that market updates, great guests, and the business of sports. And you have the recipe for business for breakfast. Here to serve it up are Mark Asher and Ken Morgan.
Well, here we are. Thank you very much for joining us on this Thursday morning edition. If you were still of high school age, how would you like to be going to school at Macy's? Wouldn't that be fun? Well, that's sort of what they're doing at Burlington High School in Vermont. Last fall, they had to shut the school down after PCB contamination was detected by the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation. So then they had to scramble for places to carry on school, like renting trailers and so forth. But now they have just opened up the school again in a former Macy's department store. And the principal, Lauren McBride, told Fox News that the classrooms have a lot of the old Macy's amenities and decor there. There's signs up for the fitting room, the cashier, and customer service counter. There's a bunch of advertising going on for Calvin Klein, Ralph Lauren, and Levi's. She said it took $3.5 million to convert the space into a functional school, but it was quicker and more cost-effective than renting all of the trailers. And she said, I've been told that some students from other schools want to come here now after they've seen the renovation. That must be kind of cool. In Macy's, going to school.
James went to Sears University.
That's right, and killed it.
Did you know that?
Closed it down.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Interesting. Well, good morning and welcome to the Thursday edition. As Ken mentioned, it's Business for Breakfast on March 25th, 2021. The month almost over. This quarter went quick, did it not?
It did,
We got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, I think. We got quick hits coming up in a few minutes. We'll have an eye on Wall Street. Not so good going on right now, but nothing horrible. And we got a couple guests we're going to swing by today. One is Daniel Payne, a general assignment reporter for Just the News. We're going to discuss the topic of rising gas prices. Oh, yeah. And also at 7:35, our buddy Jeffrey Hirsch of Stock Traders Almanac is going to discuss the markets and a few other things going on. So that's coming up. A lot of stuff on what Powell said and a few other things affecting what's happening right now. And then we'll end the program with the BOS, the Business of Sports. We've got March Madness gearing back up for the weekend. We had Rory McIlroy hit his golf ball into someone's pool. That's not where you want to be, Ken.
No?
That's what I do. I hit into people's pools, not
on
pro
purpose.
golfers.
Yeah.
No, not on purpose. Mm-hmm. It's always an accident. And a few other things we'll discuss in the business of sports. So that is what is happening on today's program. Let's go to Wall Street. As mentioned, looks like the S&P is down for the third straight day. More weakness in tech shares. And again, some of the comments from Fed Mr. Powell there. The Dow this morning is down 109 points. That's about 0.25%, a little more than that. Just 0.1% for the S&P, so it's not like crazy, but it's down 4 points. NASDAQ is up just slightly 8 points this morning. The Russell 2K down 1.25, 27 points, and the VIX this morning is up about 1%. 10-year Treasury yield has dropped to 1.60%. Oil prices getting crushed again, down almost 4% in the U.S. light crude inventory. There's demand concerns. And the Suez Canal disruption that's going on, a stupid boat. They can't get it out of there. They said it might be 2 weeks to get that thing out of there. Jeez. Brent crude, by the way, is down $2.18 a barrel, 62.23. That is also close to 3.5%. Gold this morning's up $5.50. Silver, I should say, is down about 1%. And in the crypto world, big loss for Bitcoin, down 3,000. About 5.5% this morning, all the way to 51,922.
Now on Business for Breakfast, quick hits.
Easy companies making early morning headlines, starting with Rite Aid, expecting to report a loss for its just concluded fiscal year, compared to analyst forecast of $125 million profit. Well, The drugstore chain was hit by a 37% drop in sales of cold, cough, and flu-related products as people suffered from these maladies far less because of the pandemic lockdowns. Is that ironic or what?
It is. Walgreens, another drugstore operator, stock fell 2% in the pre-market. Possibly a little sympathy with Rite Aid. Deutsche Bank also labeled the stock a catalyst call buy idea, noting the short-term issues, but saying the COVID vaccine could provide a positive opportunity for Walgreens in both the near and longer term.
Darden Restaurants, the parent of Olive Garden and other chains, reported quarterly earnings of 98 cents per share, well above the consensus estimate of 69 cents a share. Revenue beat estimates as well. And although same restaurant sales tumbled 26.7% from a year ago, that was a smaller drop than anticipated.
A company that is in the news, it feels like every day now.
Yeah, they
Coherent accepted a takeover proposal by optical components maker 2VI. I think that's it. Ending a long bidding battle between 2VI or 26, I don't know what it is, and optical fiber company Lumentum. Coherent, a provider of lasers and related technology, approved the bid of $220 per share in cash for each Coherent share and will pay Lumentum a breakup fee of $217 million.
I've paid breakup fees myself.
Yeah, a lot of us have.
RH reported quarterly earnings of $5.07 per share, beating the consensus estimate of $4.76 a share. The Restoration Hardware parent also saw revenue beat analyst forecasts. RH reported strong demand for its high-end furniture and other luxury products and expects current quarter revenue to grow by at least 50%.
KB Home beat estimates by 10 cents a share, quarterly profit of $1.02 per share. The home builder's revenue missed analyst projections despite a 23% rise in net orders and a 4% increase in deliveries.
Drug maker AstraZeneca said an updated analysis of its COVID-19 vaccine's U.S. trial showed 76% efficacy compared to 79% in a report earlier this week. The earlier report had not included more recent infections and came under some scrutiny from an independent data monitoring board.
Nike is the target of criticism on Chinese social media for a statement in which the athletic footwear and apparel maker said it was concerned about reports of forced labor in Xinjiang. Nike also said it does not source products from the region. The shares were down almost 5% this morning.
H.B. Fuller reported quarterly profit of 66 cents a share, 19 cents above estimates. Revenue also topped the street. The maker of adhesives, sealants, and other industrial products saw particular strength in health and hygiene-related products, although it saw weakness in construction adhesives.
Okay. Royal Philips, the health technology company, struck a deal to sell its domestic appliances unit to investment firm Hillhouse Capital for about $4.4 billion. Transaction includes the right for Hillhouse to use the Philips brand name for 15 years with the possibility of renewal.
We cool kids call it AMD, but it's Advanced Micro Devices, and their stock was up 1% in pre-market after Northland Capital Markets upgraded the stock to outperform from market perform. Northland called Intel's move to re-enter the foundry business as a strategic faux pas and said AMD stood to benefit as a result. Hey, they're building plants in Arizona. Don't be calling it a faux pas.
Hey, by the way, if you kids were talking about this, were you really cool kids?
Yeah.
Viacom CBS, the media company stock remains on watch after more than 30% tumble over the past two sessions. That followed the company's announcement it would raise $3 billion through stock sales. It fell another 1% this morning.
All right, who's having a birthday on the 25th? Not a lot of folks. Not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
This woman was on Saturday Night Live for 4 years. Kind of a strange personality. Mary Gross. Remember her?
I do, yeah. Oh, she's got to be getting up there, I'm guessing. 71? Maybe I don't know who it is.
I'm not sure what up there means either.
71.
The 68 years old today.
Oh, you know what? I almost said 60.
You almost said it? But you didn't quite. Right?
I went into the 70s.
Okay.
Is
now,
James here today?
Yeah, my mic is messed up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you're a fan of Turner Classic Movies, as I am, you know this guy. And I think he also does movie stuff for NBC Network as well. Great host on TCM, Ben Mankiewicz, having a birthday today.
84.
81.
Ben is 54 years old today. So you're not a fan of TCM?
Nope,
like
I am not a fan of that guy either because I don't know who he is.
Well, that's
if you
pretty
watch
obvious.
the show, I mean, if you watch the channel.
He looks older than he is. No, I'm just kidding. All right, you got more for later?
More for later.
Okay, more for later. I do want to tell you about my friends over at Lund Mortgage. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the mortgage game. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the real estate game in Arizona. bidding wars and fights breaking out. Well, I don't know about that part. I'm embellishing. Here's the deal. If you want to go buy a new home, you need to have a strong pre-approval in your hand. You have to have that offer ready to roll, and you have to have it quickly. And that's one of the best parts about the Lund Mortgage team. They can turn these around quickly, get you equipped to go out there and battle for that home of your dreams. Call today, 623-875-9940. They'll get you pre-qualified, get that offer ready to roll, and then you just go and try to find the home. That's the simple part, or maybe not so simple. The simple part is getting the pre-approval. Now, the other options are refinancing your current home. Maybe you don't want to sell it, but your house has gone up a ton, and you have all this equity, and you're like, I'd really like to do that swimming pool getting ready for the summer. Here's a way to do it. Refinance, get some of the equity out of your home, and do what you need to do around the house. They do that as well. Call 623-875-9940 or check them out online for all of your options. It's lundmortgage.com.
All right, I don't want to start a panic, but I want to tell you about this right now so that you can be aware. The weather folks are saying today it's going to be mostly cloudy, but starting at about 11 o'clock through sometime tonight, there is a blowing dust advisory. So what that means is there's a possibility of a fishing boat getting caught in the Arizona Canal.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Sir, your dinghy's blocking the way. When we come back, we're going to talk gas prices. Everyone's freaking out. Is there a reason? We'll talk about that with Daniel Payne next. This is Business for Breakfast.
21 after 7 o'clock here at Money Radio on the Business for Breakfast show. Ken Morgan along with Mark Hasher, and joining us now, General Assignment Reporter for Just the News, Daniel Payne. Daniel, good morning and welcome to our program.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Very timely that you're on, from my perspective, because this morning on the way in, I stopped at the Shell station and filled up, and before I put my credit card in, it offered me a HELOC that I could get in case I didn't have enough money, in my account to buy the gasoline. There was nothing under $3, and the premium was just a smidge under $4. What's going on, Daniel?
Yeah, I've observed the same thing in my neck of the country. Gas prices are going up seemingly without end and have been doing so pretty steadily for months. One thing that a lot of people are pointing to is the Biden administration's cancellation of part of the Keystone oil pipeline. Of course, when you constrict supply, that's naturally going to drive up costs for a particular commodity. Another thing that could be driving up prices a little bit, potentially an encouraging sign, is that more Americans are traveling than they have been over the past year as the vaccine spreads and as fears about COVID recede a little bit. So you could be seeing potentially a choke point of supply with increased demand. Of course, more Americans getting out and spending money and doing stuff is good, but when you don't have the demand to meet that, that's when you're going to see higher prices.
Daniel, it's funny you said that. I just said to Ken in the commercial break, I go, just wait till summer rolls around. Because every year, maybe not last year, but every other year, you see a big, spike right before, the May, June holiday time and Memorial Day, and you see them go up. So I would imagine, especially with all this pent-up energy or frustration a lot of people have had, we could see a pretty good increase, right?
Oh yeah, sure. That is absolutely the case. That people go on long vacations, they take road trips, they're going to be filling up more, and that's just what's kind of worrisome about the fact that we aren't even out of March yet, and we're already seeing those prices go up. And there's such a strong, persistent rhetoric from certainly Biden over the course of his campaign, but other Democrats as well to push for less reliance on fossil fuels. More green energy and transitioning to that sort of economy. But, what isn't often discussed on the campaign trail for obvious reasons is that if you pursue policies like that, Americans are going to be paying more for energy. That's just inevitable. So, whether or not you think that, a green energy economy is a good thing, one of the consequences is that people are going to have less money to spend elsewhere because they're just going to be spending more on fuel.
Yeah, but Daniel, this Rasmussen poll shows that overwhelmingly we want to pay more, don't we?
Well, I think some people would like to pay more. I think some people would like to pay less. I can imagine
that was tongue in cheek, by the way, for those who didn't.
Right. I can imagine 3 people on this phone call that probably wouldn't so much like to pay more, but that's just, of course, the way it is in a diverse economy.
Yeah, so this follows too after we have become one of the biggest, if not the biggest, producer of oil in the entire world right now. It just seems like it's coming at the wrong time. The oil prices right now, though, are not going through the roof yet, and there's always kind of a lag with gasoline prices. But when does the summer blend actually take effect in most areas?
I believe it's closer to the middle of summer, around July 4th. Of course, a lot of people are traveling now. Memorial Day is also a big travel day. Usually you have a long weekend, so I think it really starts to pick up there, but really hits its crescendo, more towards the middle of summer. But as you noted, we are a significant producer of fossil fuels, but if you can't get that into the pumps, if you can't get that into people's cars and get that into people's homes for one reason or another, you're just not going to realize the economic benefits of producing that much energy on a domestic scale.
So I guess a lot of people who want to do good things for the earth or whatever are not overwhelming those who say, I'd like lower prices. That's what I want.
Right. And I mean, as I said, there are always trade-offs, and one thing that a lot of people seem to think is that, if you transition to greener energy, then everything just kind of works out. But, somebody who in the meantime has to pay more for fuel to get to their job doesn't have as much to pay for food or for maybe their kids' education or clothes when such an essential, indispensable part of your economy as energy, when that price jumps, you just have to make sacrifices somewhere else. And it's something that really just isn't acknowledged enough by the people who would like us to go more towards solar and electric and biofuels, that there's going to be a fallout from this if these policies are pursued vigorously. And we see that when gas prices go up.
Daniel Payne is with Just the News. Daniel, what's the best way if people want to find out a little bit more about this survey or just see some of the stuff you guys are talking about over there? What's the best way to reach you?
You go to justthenews.com. We have new surveys from Rasmussen every day, and new polls and great news stories up there every single day. So please check us out.
Excellent. Daniel Payne, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Fossil fuels come out of the ground, but I think a lot of people think the alternative energy falls from the sky.
It doesn't?
Well, sunshine does, but I mean, it's not always reliable, sunshine. I hear it's cloudy in some parts of the country a lot.
No, it's not. That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Hey, how about that governor of New York, that Andrew Cuomo guy?
Oh, great guy.
He and State Health Commissioner Dr. Howard Zucker directed high-level medical personnel to place a priority on testing the governor's family and key allies of his administration for the COVID-19 virus in the early days of the outbreak last year. That's according to the Albany Times-Union. Cuomo's brother, mother, and one of his sisters were personally tested by top health officials several times, according to the sources. Well, that's only fair, right? You're the governor and your family get to, be first in line.
Exactly. All right, we've got more to come on the program, including Jeffrey Hirsch of the Stock Traders Almanac. We're going to discuss the markets, which are down, by the way, if you're just tuning in. We'll get you a full recap of what's happened in the first hour of trading on this Thursday in just a couple of minutes. You got one birthday for me or two or seven?
I have one for you.
Okay.
Okay, it's a little quiz goes with this one.
Ooh, a quiz.
Was he Starsky or Hutch?
Ooh, I don't know.
Paul Michael Glazer.
He was Starsky.
And what was Starsky's first name?
Paul.
David.
You are correct, sir.
It was David
Yes,
Starsky.
yes, you are.
Which is Hutch's first name?
I don't know. Who cares?
Well,
he's not having a birthday today, so we don't care about him.
Who is? Starsky?
No, Paul Michael Glazer. Starsky is. That's why I ask about him.
Okay. Starsky is,
Yeah.
69.
74.
78.
Ooh, wow.
Years
I
old.
bet he ain't sliding over any
Does
cars.
he still
today,
have
dude.
that curly hair?
Yeah, he's not sliding over the cars. He's just
And how about Sarah Jessica Parker?
Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw. 50.
You know that?
Yeah. I used to watch that show. 56.
58.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
boom, done. What do you got?
Okay,
What's up, James?
Okay,
I know everything about Sarah Jessica Parker.
Well, I'm glad you
She's
do.
married to Ferris.
Yeah. Matthew Broderick is his actual
Ferris Bueller. is his name.
Bueller.
Bueller.
Do you think she ever does that to him?
Yeah, I hope so.
His
Every
kids
day.
probably
Like,
do. Huh?
like she's trying to talk to him about something serious. Like they got a big car payment coming up, and he just doesn't answer. She's like, Bueller.
Bueller.
All right, we got the Stock Traders Almanac. Jeffrey Hirsch coming up in just a second. Stick around. It's Thursday. This is Business for Breakfast.
Good morning at 7:32 here at Money Radio and the Business for Breakfast show. And time for us to check the weather across the country in case you were traveling somewhere in the USA today. Here's Weatherman Jim.
Here's your traveler's forecast. A storm system will move across the west today. It's going to bring pockets of mountain snow from the Cascades into the Intermountain West and the northern and central Rockies. Rain will fall along the coast in the valleys of the Northwest, the Northern Great Basin, and the Mountain West. For the Southwest, Southern Rockies, Central and Northern Plains, nice sunny day. Learn why more Money Radio listeners are moving their financial plans to Steve Jurich at IQ Wealth Management. Schedule your free review today at IQWealth.com. That's IQWealth.com. I'm Jim Tice.
All right, Jim, thank you. It's 50 degrees right now. High today should be 74, and we do have a blowing dust advisory, which goes into effect later this morning. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy today. Let's get you an update on the market right now, brought to you by IQ Wealth Management.
Well, it's been an hour, and it hasn't been a great hour. Nothing tragic or anything like that, but the S&P down for the third straight day, down 14 points right now, a little more than 0.25%. The Dow is down 161 points, right at 0.5%. Same for the NASDAQ, down 64 this morning, and the Russell 2K down a little more than 0.5%, down 14 points. The VIX is up about 4% this morning. 10-year treasury yield, easy for me to say, 1.60. The oil prices are down quite a bit, 3% in the U.S. light crude inventory, 59.33 a barrel. Brent crude down 2.5%, 62.78. Gold is up $5.10 an ounce. Silver is pretty much flat this morning. And crypto, Bitcoin getting rocked today. 33.50 is what it's down a coin. That is over a 6% drop. 51,572.
All righty, stick around for Mastering Money after our show this morning, right after the 8 o'clock news. No longer an afterthought. Specific types of annuities have taken center stage for smart investors looking to nail down preservation and income. And if you want the straight scoop on the benefits of principal, secure, uncapped, next-generation retirement annuities, it's a show you don't want to miss today on Mastering Money. Joining us now is Jeffrey Hirsch of Stock Traders Almanac. StockTradersAlmanac.com is the website if you'd like to become a subscriber. Jeffrey, good morning and welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Very good. Mark and I were talking about some things we wanted to ask you about, so I'll start with this one. I remember the days when the Columbia Broadcasting System was considered to be... Oh, yeah. They were called the Tiffany Network on television. Now they seem more like the Three Stooges Network. It seems like there's always something going on with the CBS Viacom family. What's wrong there?
You know, it's like any other family, I guess.
Well, there is a family involved there, yeah.
I'm in a family business too, but it's kind of all mine now. So we don't have those issues. Back in the day, I used to hammer it out with my mother and father about all sorts of family stuff. So I don't think it's atypical.
Oh, okay. So we just have to live with it then for a while. What's the
Too
fun?
bad it's on the public markets for them.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, Jeffrey, last time we talked, I mentioned ARC. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go and do research? Because since I said that, it's just tank. So if you did, it's our fault.
Kind of been hearing about it on one of my listserv threads about the some references to the Bible and those type of events, biblical events, but it's not my cup of tea. So I looked into it a little bit, but it's not something I had ever intended on
utilizing.
Looking
out any further. All right. No, it's funny because we brought it up and then it's down quite a bit. But it goes into a lot of Tesla there. And
so does that make you guys contrary indicators or
no?
Well, we could be if that's our place in life. We will be that. Yeah, just
I use myself as one frequently.
whatever we say, do the opposite. That's
Yeah,
kinda
right? Well, no, literally, I brought it up to him, and then I just watched it go down and down and down. I was like, oh, my God. All right, so what's going on right now? Powell had some comments, about maybe, stimulus ending. Markets could be reacting a little bit the last day or so. What are your thoughts what's happening right now?
Well, you got all of this stuff, with the Fed and the bond market. We had a pretty good stock pumping activity going on with Robinhood and Reddit. Valuations are up there. Internals are starting to, roll over a little bit. Technicals are up there. But, let's not forget the seasonals. This is why people have me on their shows to discuss. This is the, week after triple witching. And, it's notoriously weak. It's the end of Q1, which is, there's a lot of selling pressure there. So on top of this fundamental, technical, geopolitical, monetary sentiment backdrop, you've got, the seasonal, overlay that is putting pressure on. Again, we've been seeing seasonals tracking very close to history since September. So not something we hadn't warned people about, not something I'm totally surprised about from both a seasonal perspective and, a technical and fundamental perspective. It's not, unexpected for a pause here and a pullback after we've been so far above, standard deviations and the market. We also looked at the rolling 1-year returns. Did you guys see any of that chatter out there?
No.
Where market's up like 75% since the March 23rd, 2020 low.
Oh, yeah.
So, we did a little analysis yesterday on the blog, and, are we up, basically asking, are we due for some mean reversion? The average rolling 1-year return since 1949 is 9.15% for the S&P. Likely that, we're going to revert to that, and not going to get another 75% gain between now and next March. Last time we were up this big, you remember 2009 to 2010. We had the May flash crash. We had the, a little bit of a 10% correction to the July lows right in the midst of the worst 6 months. So, to me, it sort of plays into the historical seasonal patterns with the, sort of confirmation on the technical and fundamental and, other economic development side. So that's where we're thinking right now.
All right, speaking of history, we have the Biden administration doing a lot of things right now, including a press conference for the first time by the president today.
Mm-hmm.
Taxes are definitely going to come up. He wants to raise corporate taxes, and Bernie Sanders, who is kind of a Democrat, wants to raise them even higher. If that happens, what do you think is going to be the result?
Well, don't move to New York because they're trying to do similar things like that on the state level. It's a battle that's gone on for years. We've had decent and outsized market gains during higher tax periods. I think they've got to find some equilibrium where, the people that are well off are paying, a reasonable amount to help keep the rest of the economy in a place where you don't have, people on the streets and having issues. But it's not a done deal. We saw, the Republican administration that was in there with Trump cut taxes back. The Democrats have control. They're going to probably raise them. They probably won't get everything that the worst case scenarios everyone's afraid of. And then in another 4 or 8 years, we'll get a pullback on some of it. So, it's part of the game. Wall Street will readjust. But any new plan like that is bound to put a little pressure on the market. It's still a post-election year. Next year's a midterm year. We're up quite a bit. I don't sense a major bear market coming from any of the underlying fundamentals, but stimulus and pent-up demand and what we're seeing out there. But, probably fuel a little bit of a consolidation correction, especially in the seasonal week period. So, and we'll probably get that pullback ahead of any legislation being passed because, they usually sell a rumor by the news type of thing.
Jeffrey, before we let you go, do the elevator speech. Tell us why we should subscribe to Stock Traders Almanac.
Didn't I just do that?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you sort of did, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got 54 years of historical research. We're constantly, updating it and making it relevant. And we got a great fundamental stock screen and some sector rotation strategies. Pretty great deal to get the newsletter. It's like Foods and Almanac every year. And we actually give people specific buy and sell prices, not just what to buy, but when to buy and around what price and when to get out of it.
Excellent. Jeffrey Hirsch with Stock Traders Almanac. Thanks again for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure, guys. Have a good day.
North Korea launched 2 ballistic missiles off the East Coast today. The U.S. and Japanese government said as Kim Jong-un's regime's frustrations with the Biden administration have begun escalating. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga said North Korea had launched 2 ballistic missiles that landed outside its maritime exclusive economic zone, which extends about 200 nautical miles from the coast. By the way, here's a guy, this Kim Jong-un, who could certainly use some weight loss, and you might have an idea for him, although I don't think he'll take advantage. His head is now the size of a medicine ball. Have you seen him recently? What is he eating? That's why other people have no food. He's eating it all in North Korea. Have you seen him?
Nope. Yeah, he's becoming square.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, he is.
Like his head was already kind of square, right?
Right, yep.
And then like the rest of him is just becoming. You know where he needs to go?
Where?
What a segue.
Valley Medical Weight Loss.
That was the idea,
I'm not
yes.
sure I'd want to walk into the waiting room and see him sitting there. I'd be like, no. But listen, if you're becoming square, if you're looking like the entire country of Korea in one person, it's time to trim up. Time to get the fat off, get the LBs out, and get on your way to a healthy, happy lifestyle. Feel good, look good, all that good stuff. You can do it quickly, smartly. Is that a word? Smartly, efficiently, and again with doctor supervision every step of the way. They monitor their patients very closely, so there's accountability here. Weekly weigh-ins really keep you on track, on task. If you cheat, we're all going to know about it. So don't cheat. Just do what you have to do to make sure that you are accomplishing your goals. And it's only $31.95 per week. So add that up for a month. It's really not that much. And you're going to lose a lot of weight. And by the way, the first week is free. So you can get started. Try it for a week. If you don't like it, quit. But I don't think you're going to quit. I don't know anyone that's quit. Call Valley Medical Weight Loss, 602-441-3305. That's 602-441-3305, or check them out online at valleymedicalweightloss.com.
I have this story I wanted to pass along from the Wall Street Journal about this woman named Paula Cristina Santos. She has a dream mortgage. I'll bet you wish you had her dream mortgage. The bank pays her. Her interest rate fluctuates, but right now it's around minus 0.25%. So every month, Santos lender Banco deposits into her account interest on her mortgage, equivalent to about $380,000 American, but $320,000 euro. And with the negative rates, this is going against all the principles where you borrow money and the bank pays you to borrow it. Negative interest rates. Fun stuff, huh?
How did she do that? I mean,
Well, they have a negative interest rate over there in parts of Europe now.
We can't
in
use
England.
a European bank to refinance?
Well, you give it a try and see what happens there.
I guess that's a no then.
Probably, yeah. Her case is supposed to be rare and mostly over by now, but after the ECB cut interest rates to below zero in 2014, economies in the Eurozone improved. People were able to get all kinds of stuff they wanted, borrow and spend, when you got negative interest rates. Wouldn't that be lovely?
No. All right, we got a little business of sports to attend to, and we'll do that in just a minute. Do you have any other celebrations?
You mean birthday celebrations?
Yeah, birthdays.
Yes, I do. Gene Shalit, the guy who has a mustache from here to there.
He's got a good mustache.
Yeah.
I mustache you a question.
What is the question?
Get it? Mustache.
I got the...
It's my kids, the joke. It's a kid's joke. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now, are
Yeah,
you going to take a
or-
guess on how Gene?
Are we waiting till
Oh,
his
it's
next
Gene
birthday?
Oh, it's his birthday. I get. That's why you brought him up. 78.
Oh, Lord.
78.
79.
Okay, he's 95 years old.
No more
my
golf during the
God.
week for
That's
you,
right.
man.
Okay, how about Elton?
Why can't you go first, James?
Elton
Because
John
you're
is
the-
how old today?
Elton John.
He's a rocket man.
Rocket Man. 75.
77.
74 years old.
Oh,
Okay, let's see. This woman started off her career, maybe didn't start off, but she was on a show called Love of Life, one of those soap operas. There used to be 20 or 30 of them. She was on CBS with that. She's been in the Die Hard movies. She was in They Shoot Horses, Don't They? She was on NBC's show Parenthood. Bonnie Bedelia.
54.
61.
You guys have no idea who she is. She's 73
No, we
years
don't.
old today. And
I haven't had an idea on much of what you've talked about today.
this woman was once Miss Oklahoma, and then she got very successful as a recording artist. She had several charting hits, including Paper Roses, our #1 hit. She was a spokesperson for the Florida Citrus Association. She went on tours with Bob Hope when he visited the troops. And then she became an anti-gay rights activist, and her career went down the drain.
Wait, anti-gay rights? I was going to say that doesn't sound
Anti-gay
like-
rights
Yeah,
activist.
Okay.
Anita Bryant.
Oh, she did a song with Michael McDonald once, a duet.
She was huge, huge
Yeah,
star.
she was a big star, yeah.
73.
77.
Anita is 81. She's suffered bankruptcy and a lot of problems over the years. So 81 years old today. That's it for birthdays. Thank
Well,
you.
no, today's my cousin Ryan's birthday.
Happy birthday. Ryan is 42.
No, he's a little younger than
He's
that.
27.
You know, he's 40.
I think he's 43.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't even know how old he is. And he's like one of my closest relatives.
Darn. Okay.
You should probably ask him and then wish him a...
Well, he'll be thrilled that we talked about him on the air today.
Will he?
Yeah.
As long as you... Never mind. All right, when we come back, we got the business of sports to attend to, and we got March Madness rolling back around. It's going to happen again on Saturday. Usually today is back on, but, you know, some things have changed. We're back after this. Business for breakfast.
And now, on Money Radio's Business for Breakfast show, it's time for the business of sports.
Business of sports, busy day possibly in the NBA today. Today is the NBA trade deadline. And so players can be traded, and teams that are out of it might be willing to give up one of their players who's pretty good to a team who's pretty good that has other players who would then go in return or draft picks. You get the idea. Already there's been a few moves. The Nuggets acquired JaVale McGee from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs stink. 2 future second-round picks and Isaiah Hartenstein are being traded in that one. So not a big deal. JaVale McGee's not that good, but a nice addition nonetheless. The Pistons are trading a player to the they're sending DeLon Wright to Sacramento for Corey Joseph and some picks. Bunch of garbage there. Both those teams not very good. So they're making deals. Not sure what the Suns are going to do. They lost a close one last night to the Orlando Magic. That's not a team you're supposed to lose to. But they did. And now we'll see if the Suns make a move. My guess is that they stand pat. They don't move at all. Speaking of the Pats, did you see this story? New England Patriots player Justin Herron hailed as a hero by police for helping stop an attempted sexual assault. You know where?
Where?
Tempe, Arizona. He's out here working out, and Tempe police have called him a hero. A 30-year-old suspect was seen Saturday pushing a 71-year-old retired teacher to the ground. That is where Herron and a second man, Murray Rogers, intervened. Now, Herron's a 6th-round pick last year out of Wake Forest. He's been training in Arizona. The detective, Natalie Barella of the Tempe Police Department, we are here to honor 2 good Samaritans that intervened during this vicious attack, detained the suspect until police could arrive and make sure he was taken into custody. If not for the swift actions of Mr. Justin Herron and Mr. Murray Rogers, this vicious attack could have been much, much worse. Now, here's the deal. Herron is like 6'5", 305.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't he a big dude?
He's a big dude. And he says, this is weird. He goes, it was 11 o'clock. He's like, you see this in the movies, but you never think it's going to happen in real time. I was just in shock. It was 11 o'clock, middle of the day, not one cloud in the sky, very open field. The fact that it happened there at that time was very shocking. In the moment, I wish I could tell you what I was thinking. I just knew someone just needed help. All I could do was just rush myself over there and make sure I could help the victim and make sure I could comfort her and be the best person I can. He goes, look, I'm a football player, so I'm kind of big. I try not to be too aggressive with people, knowing I could potentially hurt somebody. I do have a very loud voice. So all I did was just yell to him to get off her and then yanked him off, and I told him to sit down and wait. And the guy did.
Of course.
He waited. He didn't do anything. Police arrested him. So cool story there.
They should drown that guy. Well, he doesn't need to be attacking, first of all, a woman, and second of all, a 71-year-old.
Doesn't really
anybody.
matter who, what. Yeah.
Leave people alone. Be nice.
It is. That is crazy. Here's some of the biggest Sweet 16 bets from BetMGM. Sweet 16 is going to take place this weekend. $451,000 to win 410 on Alabama -6. Oregon has a +3, $367,000 to win 306. Loyola Chicago, $306,000 to win 255 -6. Florida State +3. I like that bet, actually. $220,000 to win 200. And $100,000 on Creighton +13.5. This is crazy. These are big, big bets that are going out. And by the way, this happened 20 years ago yesterday, and we didn't have the business of sports yesterday, so I wasn't able to bring it up. But maybe the most famous pitch in the history
I know what
of
you're talking
pitches. About. Ken, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's the most famous pitch in the history of Major League Baseball pitching.
That's saying a lot now. I don't know.
It involved Randy Johnson.
Oh, he killed a bird.
And a bird. Randy Johnson throws a fastball, and at the same exact time, a bird flies right in front of the batter and just gets obliterated.
Yeah, feathers everywhere.
It was a spring training game, and no one's ever seen anything like it. Johnson throws, all of a sudden,
just a bunch of feathers.
Just feathers. I think that what was that ESPN show that would do the, you know what I'm talking about, like sports science? They broke down like the analytics and the physics and the likelihood that something.
Yeah, the odds of that are just ridiculous.
Come on, the bird's flying. You hit a bird with a fastball. Like,
what was the speed of the ball? I'm sure they had that.
Oh, it was quick. Yeah, I mean, he throws. You know, he's probably 90-something miles per hour.
And here's the thing: he wasn't even aiming for the bird. He was just throwing it.
He was just throwing a pitch.
The timing.
He didn't even see the bird because he at first looked around like, what the heck just happened? And then you see the bird. The bird was dead, by the way.
I would think so.
They didn't have to. Can you imagine that bird? He's like, dude, boom.
Think they cooked it?
No, I don't think they cooked it. They weren't on Naked and Afraid. For the limited time only in the concourse, we've got
the Randy Johnson chicken here.
We got pigeon wings. Buy one, get one free. All right, that's it. That's the business of sports.
Weekly jobless claims fall to their lowest level in more than a year.
How do you know how to play that thing so well?
Claims total 684,000 for the week ended March 20th. First time the number's been below 700,000 during the COVID-19 era.
Good.
How about that?
That's good. But how about the fact that you play that so well? Or when you did that, did you just go doot, 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 and it just makes that sound? Or do you know actually how to play
cannot share the secret of it.
He was a music
I would say
major
let
at
me try it,
Vanderbilt.
but you've been spitting on that thing for the last 6 weeks, so I'm going to go ahead and
6
pass.
weeks? How about 60 years?
Well, I meant on the show.
He got that in a box of Captain Crunch when he was a kid.
Yeah, he's just been holding on to it. We should put that on eBay.
Hey, you should see those little toy cars he has that I want from his childhood.
You always say that I want. You always throw it in there. Like you're just waiting for Ken to, like, just, here, you have them.
Yeah, I'm waiting someday. But he's not. He's going to torture me with them.
This is a plastic kazoo, but they also make metal models, too, like out of aluminum, but I don't prefer
That's
that.
why we call you the Great
They have
Kazoo.
this terrible taste that stays in your mouth.
That's not funny.
Well, I'm not trying to be funny. It tastes awful.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No.
The kazoo tastes awful? Oh,
If
'cause
it's
got, I get
Because
it.
the metal and everything.
Yeah, I get it. All right. That's going to do it for us pretty much. Tomorrow on the program, we've got the owner of Hustle House, Juliana Blazuk, is going to join us, and a former race car driver who has opened up a winery. It's called Adobe Road Winery. They have a big event tonight. Barrett Jackson's going on. Have you noticed that?
I did notice that.
Yeah, Barrett Jackson's going on right now, kind of quietly. Obviously, things have changed a little bit. But we'll visit with Kevin Buckler tomorrow on the business of sports.
Are you going to buy a car out there?
No.
No, why not?
Dude, by the way, remember I've been looking at Teslas?
Yeah, you getting one?
Well, I don't know. Now the wait time on a new one, 10 to 12 weeks, 10 to 14.
You should get a Gremlin.
14 weeks. It's like
Well
3.5
worth it.
months.
Get a Gremlin, I'm telling you.
Can't feed them at night. Thanks to Daniel Payne and Jeffrey Hirsch for joining us on today's program. Thank you to you for listening. That will do it. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow morning to do it all again, 7 a.m., business for breakfast. Goodbye.
Money Radio thanks you for being part of Business for Breakfast with Mark Asher and Ken Morgan. You can be a bigger part by joining us on Facebook and Twitter using B4B/BHX. For more on the markets, the world of business, and interesting guests, join us tomorrow morning on the Valley's only full-time station devoted to your money and how to make it, spend it, and invest it.